This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, guys.
Just so we're clear, PrizePicks is sports gambling. How is this different? How is this different? You were so quick to call out people like XQC and Trainwrecks for promoting this kind of behavior to their own audiences and normalizing it, not to mention offering promo codes so they get addicted directly through your show. And now at the very start, it's like, hey, by the way, you know, this is fun, right? Yeah, it's fun. We're all having fun. There was a new report that just came out about crypto casinos. This is Eric Toller saying, crypto casinos have become a multi-billion-dollar industry. One of the ways they've grown is with unusual marketing strategies, paying millions of dollars to internet celebrities to live stream themselves gambling for hours. There's a new lengthy investigation on this topic, and I'll put the faces on the screen here so you can see them all. All the usual suspects, right? If you didn't know, everyone in this picture. It's pretty weird how everyone in this photo has terrible politics, but also is promoting cryptocurrency gambling at the same time. But of course, yes, it's everyone you know. Trainwrecks is in the corner here. We have XQC, the Canadian, over here, representing Canada. Merci beaucoup. We have Drake, I guess, also representing Canada. Yeah, that part sucks. But yeah, all of them, they have big stake in stake.com. And they make lots of money from cryptocurrency gambling and promoting cryptocurrency gambling to thousands and thousands of members of their audience. It's not just this, by the way. You'll find gambling has kind of succeeded in permeating almost every aspect of our lives. Sports gambling is completely out of control. It's bankrupting thousands and thousands of families. Porn has gambling ads and gambling sites all over it now. There is gambling integrated into a lot of apps where you download an app and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, if you just click on this button, you can actually triple the earnings at your... Wait, triple the earnings? What are you talking about? I need to learn more. So gambling is becoming an incredibly dangerous addiction broadly for society, and it usually happens around moments and gets worse and worse during, you know, gross economic collapse. A lot of it is taking advantage of people who have, you know, addictive personalities combined with a desire to obviously free themselves from this capitalist nightmare we all find ourselves in. But everyone you see on screen is super, super rich. All right. And this all made them extremely richer. The entire thing behind the gambling meta was that, if I can put this back on the big screen, the person in the bottom left corner, Trainwrecks and XQC on the bottom right here, they were part of what was called the gambling meta on Twitch, where the two of them were doing all these gambling streams. Very, very addictive, right? So people watch them and they watch their favorite streamers gambling and playing these, you know, online interactive slot machines and risking tons of money. And sometimes winning tons of money. So you could be watching and you're watching your favorite streamer, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, he just won $50,000. And of course, like the reaction, just like, I just won $50,000. This is crazy. You know, all that shit goes down. And it's really fucked up because like people have a parasocial relationship. They're watching their favorite people streaming doing this. All of a sudden they want to win big. They want to be just like their favorite streamer. And so they're signing up. They actually used to have like sign up codes at the very start before people were like, this is really fucked up. You shouldn't be doing this. And then they were like, hey, no, come on. This is totally fair. I should be allowed to do this. I very clearly put in my title 18 plus. So, I mean, come on. And in addition, I say all the time that I'm a degenerate and I'm a degenerate gambler and don't be like me. And then now for the next 10 hours, watch me win big, baby, because we got a juice. Oh, it's going to be a big day today. And then they'll do, you know, during fucking endless marathon gambling streams and maybe make lots of money, maybe lose lots of money, but overall make lots of money. Because they're actually given a per diem when the advertisers pay them money to be able to do this. It's estimated that Trainwrecks alone has made about $300 million through his partnerships, and an untold amount of money since, because this got shut down thanks to the works of a couple people who I'm going to mention right now. And this is one of the better things that he did, Ethan Klein. That same Ethan Klein, who you now probably know is the person who's actively targeting HARASSMENT all the time now, both for, you know, his incredible looks, but also because he is supporting Palestine. That whole, you know, saga that goes down was not the old Ethan Klein HARASSMENT friendship / partnership. Back in the day, they were teaming up to try and take these creeps down and actually question them and be like, do you know what you're doing is effectively really dangerous? That like a lot of people who are watching you, even if you say you shouldn't gamble, that's not enough to prevent them from actually not being super entertained by watching you gambling for 12 plus hours. And sometimes you win lots of money and then they want to gamble as well. It's the reason why these companies are paying you so much money. Now, back then, the defense from, again, people like XQC and Trainwrecks was over and over and over, just to mention, well, you know, I take precautions. I don't have like promo codes anymore. I say 18 plus in my title. You know, we're not really trying to addict people in the way you're saying. Well, Twitch shut it down. And Twitch was like, okay, yeah, this is out of control. This is clearly just fucking turning our website into a casino site. And so Trainwrecks partnered with the owners, I guess, of Stake.com. I don't know if directly or indirectly, but Stake.com, the people who run the cryptocurrency casinos, started their own streaming website, which you may have heard of, called Kick. And so Kick was effectively started by the same company to provide an alternative for YouTube and Twitch, who dominate the online streaming platform. And in so doing, they would be able to not have to be regulated by people like Twitch, by people like Google, Amazon, etc. They could actually just do 24/7 gambling streams, and everyone will be happy. And now the big problem was we have Kick, which is another streaming alternative, which has obviously been filled up with the worst, most horrifying human beings on the planet, including lots and lots of pedophiles and lots of criminals who are using this streaming platform to be able to do whatever the fuck they want because they feel like there's no rules. It's like the Wild West, you know, how much can you get away with? And they've all done some very, very horrifying things in that time, as well as the streaming platform has, you know, obviously resulted in people streaming everything from people torturing other people, someone died, people going to other countries in order to commit crimes, all that kind of shit. All happening under Kick. It's been kind of just like an absolute train wreck to watch, but it's also pretty fascinating because that's how deep the pockets go, that a cryptocurrency website could be like, oh, I don't need you, Twitch. I don't need you, YouTube. I'll start my own Twitch. I'll start my own YouTube, and then we'll go off and do that. We spoke to dozens of streamers, casino employees, mental health professionals, and industry insiders to understand how the new world of crypto casinos came about and how they aggressively market with live streamers who are popular with teenage boys. While some crypto casinos have big-time endorsements, Stake has deals with UFC, F1 racing, Premier League teams, and also relies on an army of online influencers and guerrilla social media marketing. You've probably seen Stake and other casino logos on Twitter and Instagram everywhere. Yeah, they do fake social media posts that go viral, and you know, some people have been really, really bad in this arena. DJ Academics, for example, has been one of the worst offenders in terms of he'll post things and pretend it's news or an update or like, hey, breaking everybody, and it's actually, he's got a little Stake.com logo in the corner, and you're like, oh, you're just advertising a cryptocurrency casino and doing it in the weirdest way possible. Here's Academics. 14-year-old Emmett Till was dragged from his house and was kidnapped, tortured, and lynched by a mob of white people after falsely being accused. Conan O'Brien today accused Drake of raping a minor at the Oscars, and the culture celebrated and laughed. Lol. Is this what the culture feeling? Lying on innocent black men? Stake.com. Stake.com. I could not, for the life of me, or any cash prize, explain this post to someone like 6 years ago. If I was like, oh, do you understand what all this means? No. Wait, sorry, what happened? There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. A lot of different things are going on. Wait. You have to catch me up on so much history for any of this to make sense. Oh, it's a cryptocurrency casino ad. Yeah, I bet you weren't going to guess that. Of all the things you could guess this possibly was. Yeah, it's an ad for cryptocurrency gambling. Yeah. There's a lot of layers, I know, and there's lots of decipher here, but yeah, that's ultimately what this was. It was to promote Stake.com. Bro's voice is so deep, it sounds like it hurts. Little ad there. Cool things. The power of a strong vibration. And then you get the Rare Bet Sports in the corner there. We first started the story on noticing different people playing Stake Casino games while doing a pedophile catch video where he would sometimes play on his phone with the alleged perpetrators on stream. What? Sorry. You are a pedophile hunter online, and you go around trying to catch pedophiles. And I guess before the police arrive, you're like, well, we got 50 minutes to burn. I don't know if you've ever heard of juicing, but if you want to win big, I do have a promo code that's actually kind of neat. Here, check this out. We got a little tablet for you there. Yeah, so we can actually play some games. Yeah, maybe we could win big before you lose. Yeah, because you're disgusting. But before then, we'd win big. Yeah. Young men are particularly interested in streamers recruiting to gamble in crypto casinos like Stake and Rainbet. For example, XQC and Aiden Ross were popular gaming streamers on Twitch before being paid millions to stream on Kick, where they gamble for hours every single week. A young man we spoke to, graduated from high school in May, told us that when he started gambling in crypto casinos when he was 14, he lost over $10,000 in gambling and even took out personal loans to chase his losses. We found many stories like his. One 20-year-old said that he was hooked on the sites in high school, placing wagers with his friends after baseball practice. Another gambler said he took thousands of dollars from his parents and spent it on crypto casinos. David, who was to be identified by his middle name to protect his privacy, said he emptied out more than $12,000 in childhood savings when he turned 18 this year and converted it into cryptocurrency on a website. He bet it all, doubled it, and then lost it all. He later took out and gambled away $4,000 in personal loans without his parents knowing, trying to earn it back. I lost sight of what money actually is, said David. And I mean, this all goes to help a lot of that process, because you initially have to take real money and then turn it into cryptocurrency. You then need to go use that cryptocurrency on an online betting casino, and then when you're done, you have to transfer that cryptocurrency back into real cash. So there's a couple layers. Some of these betting casinos even have their own proprietary either cryptocurrencies or in-game currency that you would have to transfer the cryptocurrency into to further separate you from the fact that you're actually losing thousands and thousands of dollars of your real money. And I know some people will be like, well, yeah, but they're idiots, so fuck them. But it's like, this is being done on a scale to which, you know, there is no response on the other end to this. There is no real, we need to tackle this immediately and actually put a stop to this. If there are thousands and thousands of, you know, mostly young men who are starting to believe that they can become rich because they are watching all of their heroes tell them they can become rich, and they don't even have to say it out loud because their heroes just have to be like, watch me. And then they win thousands of dollars online and people are like, oh, it's just that easy. God damn, I just saw XQC, Trainwrecks, they're fucking, Aiden Ross just won $150,000 on a single hand. No, I could do that. This looks really easy. I'll just try out for $100. It's pretty cool. You sign up and then you also get a free $50 and you get a couple free spins. Done. And get in there. Let's try it out. The three I heard most often for what pulled teenage boys into this: NBA 2K with its gacha-esque packs, Fortnite through wagering, CSGO with its skins market. Many gambling streamers got famous with these games, especially 2K. And this has been also aided in large part by the AAA video game industry. All right, they're not innocent here either. If they introduce all these gambling mechanics to children, especially at an early age, where it's just like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know what loot boxes are, but this is awesome. I don't know if you know what in-game currency is, but this is awesome. Look, you can actually, instead of spending the next, like 20 plus hours grinding trying to find this gear, you can actually just buy it right now with this in-game currency. It's kind of like real currency, but it's not, but it is. But it totally isn't, but it is, but it isn't. So use that and then go buy them. Hey, look, you like skins, right? Your favorite characters? So we'll look at this. We got characters from Stranger Things here in Fortnite. Dude, do you want to be Will? Yeah, he's the Zionism is sexy guy. There's a character that you can play. You got to pay for him, but you can buy him. And then you can be Will from Stranger Things. Yeah, the Zionism is sexy guy. And then go out there and play your Fortnite. Have fun talking about that. Robet and many other crypto casinos are not legal in the United States, but U.S. gamblers, teenagers, and adults alike can dodge regulations with relative ease through the use of VPNs and verified accounts that use IDs purchased online, often from people in Africa and Asia. We spoke to a Canadian man who makes money just under $20,000 in 2025 through this fall, creating accounts on crypto casinos after purchasing photos of IDs in Kenya and India. He sells his accounts and also uses his referral code to get a fraction of what they wager. And that's, you know, a solution for all the people who live in America. I want to be clear here. The Americans who wanted to keep doing this, some of them just straight up moved to Canada. That's why Trainwrecks moved to Vancouver, where I live. That's why XCC apparently is staying in Quebec. That's why Aiden Ross moved to Canada for a long period of time, because he wanted to keep doing the online crypto casino gambling and was having a little bit of trouble doing that in the United States. The referral system is a bedrock of crypto casino marketing. Streamers drive up signups in their code, which rewards them based on the account's wagers. Often this is how casinos assess the streamer's success. More wagered on your referral code equals a better deal for the casino. These deals are one of the more opaque aspects of crypto casino streaming ecosystems. From speaking to more than a dozen gambling live streamers, we were able to discern a roughly 4-tiered system on how these deals are structured, ranging from lucrative to pure exploitative. Number 1, the most lucrative streamers are those who don't work with referral codes and are signed to massive contracts reaching millions of dollars annually. These are the, quote, big names. Think of them as whales. XQC, Drake, Aiden Ross, and so on. Like most of the gambling live streamers, they stream on Kick. This also goes to show you, people like Drake, people like Aiden Ross, people like Trainwrecks, people like XQC, hate or don't give a fuck about their own fans' well-being or welfare or poverty. Like, if you are mass addicting a whole bunch of people who like you and watch you and trust you, who listen to your music, who like your live streams, who like any aspect of what you produce in the world, and then you turn around and you're like, all of you should have a very difficult hyper addiction to a thing that is really dangerous and could bankrupt all of you. All of you should have there. That's what I put upon you. That's what I'm going to gift you all with now. Almost always, these streamers are famous for things other than gambling and bring their viewers with them, which often include young men, especially teenage boys, to watch them gamble for hours on stream every week. Number 2, the next tier are streamers making good amounts of money and usually don't use referral codes. They often make well into 6 figures annually. Through their compensation is often negotiated by a month-by-month basis over Discord or Telegram. There are dozens of these people on Kick. So people making hundreds of thousands of dollars just by, again, running 24/7 gambling streams on their website. The lowest tier are those with the small deals, often a few $100s per stream, done on a fill-in basis. More of that later in the thread. Depending on where they live, they may or not be able to make a living on what they earn. Sometimes they end up with nothing. The lowest rung are raw, self-funded streamers and those on microscopic fill deals. These are the guys who are willing to bet with their own money, raw cash, hoping to get eyeballs on their stream and parlay that into a sponsored casino deal. So it's so gross, but like anything else, there's a tier, right? There's the people on the very top. That's Drake. Drake is, you know, branded, stake.com. Then the next level is the people who get a couple hundred live viewers, and so they get, you know, yearly salaries, lots of money, but at the end of the day, all they do is just stream gambling casinos. Then there's the people who get a couple $100. They get to, you know, have a little mini per diem, but they go online, they get maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 viewers, and then they're just showing them the casinos and the games. And then there are thousands of people desperate to get in on this entire fucking nightmare, and they're just struggling with their own cash, trying to be like, notice me, come on, notice me, I'm spending lots of money here, come on, casino, you know, you can co-brand me, I'll take whatever you got, kind of shit, all the way from the top on down. The most common question I received with this story is, are these guys actually using real money? Many gambling streamers work with a, quote, fill. This is where the casino gives them a set amount in their casino wallet to gamble with. They keep some of it all after they stream. A very common structure of the deal is the streamer will get $500 a day from the casino, 5 days a week, to gamble with and for a 90-minute stream. At the end of the 90 minutes, he keeps whatever is left, whether it's $0 or $1,000, sometimes with caps. Some people get huge fills, others get small ones. For streamers, we spoke about on what they described as fake or monopoly money deals. They were given money in the crypto casino account to play with on live stream, but it was non-withdrawable. The money's technically real, but they can't get it out of the casino. Some streamers are quite upfront about the nature of their deals and will describe exactly in terms of how they get the crypto casino money to gamble with, if it's real or not, if it's a fill or if it's raw. Others are not honest and avoid the topic when it's raised. The opacity keeps things fuzzy. Are you actually watching someone live and die with every single bet, or just pure entertainment with no real stakes? Many viewers gravitate towards watching degen streamers, guys with obvious crippling gambling addictions. So the worse you are as a human being, or the worse you are addicted to gambling, the more entertaining I guess you'll be for the people looking for this kind of stuff. So, oh my god. This authenticity becomes its own spectacle. These guys are all over YouTube with their crash outs and huge losses. One guy poured urine on his head to get $500 to gamble with. This led to him getting relatively short-lived streamer deals with the casino. Congratulations, P-Face Man. You did it. You succeeded at the game of life. You now have risen from desperately trying to appeal to casinos by gambling your own money to pouring a jar of your own piss on your face to get some cash from the people watching you and them calling you degenerate, to then at that point having to notice, like, the eyes of the casino are upon you. That man is really willing to do anything. Yes, he is. You know, he could be useful to us. Indeed. Yes. First piss. What next? What will he do? Stake and Robet, two of the largest casinos, disagreed with many of our findings about their marketing tactics and measures to prevent underage gambling. Stake noted that its collection of sponsorships reflects the high standard to which we operate. Of course, the high standards. The spokesman for Snoop Dogg, who had a deal with Robet, said that he ended shortly after we sent him questions, gave this response. The other celebrity streamers did not respond. Okay, so we got something from Snoop. Drake, whose full name is Aubrey Drake Graham, declined to comment on this story through representative. Mr. Ross, as well as XQC and Trainwrecks, whose real names are Felix Lengyel and Tyler Nickman, did not respond to requests for comment. A spokesman for Snoop Dogg, who is partners with Robet, said in September's statement in The Times, Snoop takes these issues seriously. He is no longer working with Rubet. Is it Rubet? Yeah, Rubet, and has no plans to do so in the future. They announced the end of the partnership on X the same day. What? As soon as he was asked? Snoop, what's going on here? Snoop Dogg takes this seriously and is actually no longer has a relationship with that gambling casino. Okay. As of now. Yes. Wait, just like in the middle of that sentence? Like as I was asking you the question, this partnership ended? That's wild. Interesting timing. I better late than never, I guess. Good for you, Snoop? Question mark. There's much more about these crypto casinos than we wrote about, including the troubled states that we live in regulating these sites. Read the full investigation. So if you want, here is a link to the story. It just got published in the New York Times. It goes into much more detail about the dangers of cryptocurrency gambling, and also why, if you happen to be a parent and you have kids or teenagers, young teenage boys especially, if they have fans or like superstars that they're into, if they love Aiden Ross, if they love Drake, probably have a conversation with them about those people and why they shouldn't love them and why they're terrible. There's better role models out there. Please just go find and substitute way better humans. They're not real men. Those are cowards, and in some cases pedophiles and rapists. So keep the world away from them. Just to get that out the gates. But also add that, like, you could like a couple Drake tracks and you're like, hey, Drake is streaming, that's pretty cool, he's going to be streaming on Kick, I want to watch him. You're probably going to be watching hours and hours of someone gambling, and definitely someone who probably does have a gambling problem, but they're insulated from their gambling problem because the casino is the one giving them the money to gamble with, so that they can advertise their products and get way more people to become addicted to these. And like I said, it was a good thing that Hassan and Ethan Klein were calling out these practices, although I just learned today that apparently Ethan is now advertising a form of gambling.
Twitch is just not the right place for that, because
this is back in the day.
There's just too much potential for harm there.
What is?
I don't know.
None. I mean, we're never gonna. Nobody's ever gonna agree on any of these points because it's a no across the board.
Yeah, probably. It probably is, you know, and you know, it's fine. It is, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is not good. And I understand that it's content, and I understand that you're getting paid, and that everyone's having fun on the face of it. But like underneath, you've got this big iceberg where on the top, it's everyone's having fun watching, and you're making a lot of money, and then underneath the water is this huge clump of suffering that's going to happen as a result of people getting into gambling from watching you. So, I mean,
I mean, he was so clear and eloquent. Even XQC was kind of like, I'm not going to argue that you're right, that I am really fucking up my own audience, but what's the answer? Where do I get to do it? Just give me an out. If only there was a proprietary streaming site owned by the casino itself that allowed us to stream 24/7 gambling streams. If only that existed. So yeah, there was a couple of these, you know, where H3 obviously called out XQC train wrecks back when, you know, train wrecks and XQC would actually answer a call kind of situation.
Let me ask you a question, Miz. You used to do gambling and then you quit. Why did you quit doing the gambling sponsors?
Well, if you want to know my honest reason why I quit, it's because I saw some of my mods doing it when I was offline and they were losing money. And I said to myself, if I'm seeing these guys losing this money like this, and they're live losing this money, and I know that there is some 16-year-olds out there who I'm not going to name who are getting interested in it and trying to make a crypto wallet, and they're watching me, and I'm like, okay, so now you're telling me that these dudes are, when you finally see it, you're like, holy crap. And I felt very guilty.
One of the weirdest, like, abuse figures on the internet right now, Mizkif. I don't know if you've seen Mizkif is trying to now get ahead of all his abuse accusations by just pretending like he doesn't care. And he's like, I'm in a happy relationship. Anyways, that brings us to today, where something else is happening.
PrizePicks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making players pick for the first time, trying something new can be hard. Can I get music? Because I feel so wrong without music. Thank you. I feel like I'm just in an empty room and just hearing my own. I'm just like, guys. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, guys. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new, it can be hard. But in life and on PrizePicks, it always feels good to be right. With high pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action every night, the action never stops, guys, and PrizePicks lets you take control.
Just so we're clear, PrizePicks is sports gambling. It's more gambling. It's gambling. It's just different forms of gambling, and it's still just as bad. And yeah, it's a really big problem in the United States right now. It's going to be a big problem for, again, thousands of H3 viewers who are just like, I mean, I don't know why everyone's so mad at Ethan. I have stayed. I'm loyal. I love H3. Yeah, he trusts me and has my best interest at heart. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, did you know that you can actually get $5? Well, no, wait, $50. All you got to do is spend $5 and you get $50. That's a hell of a deal. 10 times, right? So you log in, you use their promo code, you can start gambling. All you got to do is put in $5 real. So easy, right? And then I goes, who wouldn't do this? Who wouldn't want to get a deal like this? And then you start spending it. I'm sure there's some terms and conditions. Like you have to spend that first $50. You gotta gamble, and then maybe you'll get a taste for it, a sweet taste for it, and maybe you'll love doing it and want to do it all the time.
Oh yeah, no. It seems like a really fun thing. Zach's not here. He usually does our picks, but Tom actually, you've been picking.
I was picking actually before the show today.
What are you picking?
Well, the only sport I really watch is basketball, so I'm like very involved in basketball. And the Phoenix Suns are my team. Shout out Suns, and they're doing good.
Cool. How is this different? How is this different? You were so quick to call out people like XUC and Trainwrecks for promoting this kind of behavior to their own audiences and normalizing it, not to mention offering promo codes so they get addicted directly through your show. And now at the very start, it's like, hey, by the way, this is fun, right? Yeah, it's fun. We're all having fun. Hey, you like sports, right? Yeah, I love sports. Yeah. So, I was watching the basketball game yesterday. I wanted to make some money, and I was like, hey, I had a feeling, a good feeling, and then I decided why not put like, $10, and then, hey, turned out pretty good for me. I ended up making $50. Gosh, it's just that easy. Oh, well then, anyone could do it. Yeah, neat. Shout out.
Good this year, and tonight they're playing OKC, who's killing it. And I was.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, the difference is maybe the segment is going to be shorter. It's just going to be like a 15-minute segment instead of like, 10 plus hours of gambling. So yeah, it's worse to do a 10-hour Gamba stream than it is to do a 15-minute promotion for gambling. But you're still on both ends promoting gambling for money. This is the website, All your picks, one app, players, teams, culture, America's #1 sports pick app. Who will win? And then it's cool because in the top right corner, I see a wallet, and this person has $845.25 and some proprietary tokens that I'm not completely familiar with. I'm sure it's nothing. And then I can go in there, and then I can pick. I have a feeling too. Maybe it is going to be the Seattle Seahawks this time. Yeah. And then I can say C, and then it'll be like, how much do you wager? Oh, I don't know, but hey, let's try it out. $10, $20, and then if I'm right, I get the feeling, the sweet feeling. And then I want the feeling again, and again, and again.
Thank you so much to our patrons for making this show possible. We could not fund it without you. And if you want to join, please check out patreon.com/theserfs to unlock bonus episodes, uncensored content, and all the good stuff. Thanks to Anna Loves Riley, Addercap, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hegbard Salim, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet One 85, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, Tigwick, and Words Greenwood.